Hi there. We are here to talk a little bit more about what the Every Penny Challenge looks like. I'm trying to be a little fancy here. I am going to record a screen recording and splice it with me actually using the journal here for our Every Penny Challenge. So let's go ahead and kick that off. What I want to share, it's very simple. If you watch the first video, a little highlight about what the challenge is. It's 2 days a week, 2 times 2 days. And you're gonna pause and reflect. And I'm gonna show you what that looks like because all you need is a notebook. And this one was like less than $2, okay? Of course, something to write with. And you'll wanna pull up your banking and or credit information for your business so that you're looking at all of the transactions that have gone in and out of your account for the previous week. Okay, so think about this. You'll need to pick a day, firstly. Pick your day that you want to pause and write out the transactions, and then pick another day where you will reflect on it. For some people, they may want to do it 1 day a week. If that works for you, great. And there's different ways you can think about how to pick your days. For example, I have a client, they release funding every Thursday. So it would make sense for me to update all the expenses and all the other income I received by Wednesday before the next funding comes in. So that's kind of my cadence. When we get on Skool, and every Thursday, I will be putting out video highlights or moments to reflect, and we'll engage in the Skool community as well. But I want to encourage you all to show up if you can for the coffee hours at 10:30 Central Standard Time on Thursdays. Okay, so we got all that out of the way. Let's get to it. So I am recording, as I said. You'll have your notebook, and in this example, let's switch over. I'm using QuickBooks rather than showing bank information or trying to create some statement or whatever. I thought, let's just look at Craig's feed. It's Craig's Design and Landscaping. That is the sample company. So in QuickBooks, I would go here to the bank transactions. And as you see at the top, Craig's Design and Landscaping is a pretty good example because he has 3 accounts, a checking, a savings, and a MasterCard. He doesn't have big balances, he doesn't do a lot of transactions. But since I've already looked at this, I'm gonna choose a date range sometime in November of last year because that's what they have loaded. So let's just say 11/7/2025 to 11/13/2025. I'm curious what day of the week that is. Okay, so every Friday. Let's just say our cadence is Friday to Thursday. So we'll apply that. In QuickBooks, for those who don't use this software, or this may be unfamiliar, perhaps your CPA does it for you. This is the money, your expenses that you'll calculate, and then of course your income that you get. So we're just gonna do a few of these. Okay, we'll start with the oldest date. Now I'm going to switch back over to camera mode because in your notebook, what has worked for me, and I did this challenge in the 4th quarter. I went beyond 7 weeks. I believe I did about 10 weeks, and I started seeing the habits change and all that, and I wanted to offer it to more people that want to engage more with their money and build habits. So this is what I recommend. On the left side, you want your income and then action items. And remember, I shared that if you have more than 30 transactions a week, this challenge may not be a great fit. That's a lot of writing, or maybe you want to modify it and only pick a few days a week that you're tracking. Make it your own. But I'm going to suggest starting off, and I'll write it here and show you. The left side is your income, and then as you're recording transactions, you'll begin to think about some action you can take to improve your finances. So my handwriting is not great, but here we are. Okay, sorry, I had to check something. Okay, So we have your income and your action items. Now this is also training your brain. For those who don't regularly look at your financial statements, it's kind of training your brain as well, and we'll talk more about that. Okay, on this other side is simply, usually most businesses have more expenses than income depending on your industry, so we'll use the whole page and this will be expenses. Okay, so easy, right? Now, I'm gonna refer to my challenge, and I'll tell you, there's not a lot of data you wanna get. You just wanna get the date, the name, and the amount. Yeah, you'll be able to put notes under action items. So for your income and expense, you can do date, the name, if it's a client, customer, whatever the income source, and the amount, okay? And I recommend leave a little space in the far right because there's a 2.0 where we can do some coding of those transactions, but let's just keep it simple to start. So date, name, amount, and then same thing on the other side. We're gonna say date, name, amount. Okay, this is so like, thinking about having my children do it, my young adult children. Anyway, so that's what it would look like. Now, let's start with, this one is an expense to Hall's property. So we're gonna say expense side. I tend to like to book all my income first and then go back to expenses, but I'll go in sequential order here. So starting from, actually, let's just do it like this because it's not intuitive to have it I guess inverted the other way. Okay, so 11/7 is our date. 25, we paid Hall Properties and it was $900. Easy, right? Okay, the next one on 11/7 is income, and that is from Cool Cars. Now, again, this is a design and landscaping company. So we'll see different types of probably customers that they service. So $694 was received. Okay, we're gonna go back to video, and you just continue down this flow. Now, again, you're looking at your bank statements if you want to print those, if you want to look at the digital online version, not just your bank statement. Again, if you have credit card as well, merchant cards, make it your own. Make it your own. I'll be here to support you. But let me take a pause, write a few more transactions, and then we'll come back and wrap up. All right, I am back. So I'm glad we took time to do that. Here is my, excuse my chicken scratch. But I just went through like the first 5 days, okay? And based on what QuickBooks was showing in the sample company. And you see the expenses he has here. And then over here on income, notice on the 12th, there were 2 deposits. So what would show on his bank statement is the total of the 2 deposits. So that's something, I broke it out by each of the customers, but I just wanted you to be aware of that. That may be important for you. So as far as action items, I don't know enough about Craig's design and landscaping, but here's one. Ooh, we just finished talking about 1099s, right? This company, if you look at this list, this as well as this, these two both are over $600. So these vendors, if they're not incorporated, maybe the action item, by writing this out, you're like, ooh, I need to ask for that W-9 from Hall's Properties. Get ahead of it so you're not trying to file 1099s, last minute and you don't have their information. Excuse me. So I'll say for Hall's and this other company, Brosan, I'm gonna say ask for W-9s, because again, they're over that $600 threshold. So ask for W-9s for Hall's, and Not sure if I'm saying that right. Okay, so from there, don't let it just stay stagnant. Maybe you can't get to that right at this moment, but you have it documented before you go and do the next week. Look at your action items. Make sure you can check it off your list. Maybe throw a task on your calendar or write it on your project list, whatever it looks like. So that's the Every Penny Challenge, y'all. Or here's a better one. Use your second day, your reflection day, to actually do the action items, right? So marinate on it, write it down, marinate, write some action, and then whether you choose the second day or do it that same day, let it be your own. I hope this really, really gives you encouragement. You know, it's easy, as I've written before, to get a curveball in life. And to get off track, and I'm here to help you, just like I'm helping other clients and myself organize better and better, one step at a time. So thank you for joining.